Hello. Welcome to another episode. We are just here at Ace HQ. It is Monday morning. Reflecting on what was a really good HYROX simulation for myself at the back end of last week. I did all the run. Well, I didn't do the runs. I did 50 cals on the Echo bike instead of the runs. I did think that would be equivalent to maybe running the Ks. I clocked up a total of like 16.6 kilometers, so it was probably just over 2k per 50 cals. But it turned out the guys I was racing, I was quite far ahead of those, and I finished in 52 minutes and 13 seconds. So yeah, the 50 cals wasn't quite what the K was. Kind of equivalent, but nevertheless it was still really good. Felt good and enjoyed the whole thing, so that was cool. This weekend we are hosting a HYROX simulation here at the gym in preparation for HYROX Cardiff, which is only, well, it starts on the Wednesday, I think, so it's 2 weeks on Wednesday. We've got plenty of guys, plenty of representatives from Ace who are going to Cardiff. I am still unsure if I'll be racing, just due to the ongoing knee kind of niggle that I've got. I'm managing it very well. I haven't ran since HYROX Bangkok. I've been, taking the physio's advice, just doing all kinds of rehab work, stretching, icing it, and all the rest of it. And I am going to go for a run this weekend. So this Saturday, I'm going to go out for a run. Probably going to go for around 30 to 45 minutes. Just very sensible, just easing back into it. Don't want to push anything too much too soon. So all my running drills that is scheduled in like the training plan for this week will be transferring onto the bike again. So yeah, I'm going to be on that bike, plenty of hours on there this week, which I don't mind because I've been enjoying the work that I've been doing on there and it's been going really well. So I'm just going to continue to work on the bike. And then this week is just normal training week. So you'll see it over the next couple of minutes, what I've been up to. And yeah, that is kind of the approach for this week. I'll probably make a decision on HYROX Cardiff after, see if I get any response from a run this Saturday coming. If I don't, then it will be looking positive to go and compete there. But yeah, we will see what happens. And here we go for another week as we prep towards HYROX World Championships in Sweden on June 20th. Guys, yes, so what we are doing today is I'm going to hit 2 hours of zone 2 work. That is going to be again on the bike. Getting very familiar with this bike work. I had a double session yesterday, 2 hard efforts. In the plan today was meant to be a run interval session. However, I wasn't going to run due to this ongoing knee niggle, so I was going to do the run work onto the bike. However, after yesterday's double hard effort, I'm just going to do some zone 2 work today. Listening to the body, not forcing things. Want to be fresh again for tomorrow where I'll be doing 2 efforts again. So today is going to be 2 hours of zone 2 on the bike. Now, this is where it gets quite interesting. A lot of the time when I do my zone 2 on the bike, yes, I am focused, and yes, I'm keeping my heart rate in that zone 2 area on the watch, on the Garmin. However, sometimes the watts are dropping, they're coming up, dropping, coming up. I get a little bit lazy, I suppose. Now, after having done the VO2 and the lactate threshold tests, I've had my report back, and it is suggesting that for my zone 2 or for my aerobic building pieces, I should be holding up to about 220 watts. So from about 180 to 220 watts, that should be my zone 2 according to the reports we've had from the testing. Now I'm going to completely trust that today, and I'm going to go for 2 hours at 200 watts. Now usually when I do the zone 2 work, it comes in at about an average of 175. So I'm going to push it up to 200, and I'm going to see where that takes me in terms of heart rate. It should just be at the top end of zone 2 for the whole time. Towards the end of the 2 hours, because obviously it is a long duration, it might start just creeping in to that zone 3. But let's just see what happens. I'm always open for learning, experimenting, and all the rest of it as well. So that's going to be on the agenda right now. It's going to be 2 hours of that zone 2, but taking all my attention from the reports that I've had, from the testing that we have done, putting my faith in that, and we're going to hold 200 watts for 2 hours. Let's go. Okay guys, what have we got? You can see on my watch first, I am at the top end of zone 2. Just look at that, it's just popped into that zone 3. Hopefully when I come off the camera, it'll just drop back down. What else have I got here? Time, I'm 30 minutes in. So my watch says 44, this says 30. Watch is inclusive of warm-up. Okay, this is what we're going off. 30 minutes in, you can see my average watt is today's goal, 200. As I'm talking to you now, current watts are a little bit low. So let me just pick that up again. Okay, so that's where we're at 30 minutes. It's looking good. This will come back down the heart rate into zone 2 once I have pressed stop. Okay, stay tuned. Okay, keep Daddy in the picture. Okay, so we are now 1 hour in. I've got my little trusty camera assistant helping me film this. We are an hour in. Heart rate is now at 136, 137. If it clicks over 139, that is where I jump into that zone 3. So I'm currently at the top end of zone 2, just as predicted. Average watts after 1 hour, 200. Current watts, 200. 86, 87 RPM. Starting to feel a little bit more challenging to maintain the watts. I feel like I'm having to work a bit harder, but the heart rate doesn't suggest it, so we're all good. We've got 59 minutes to go. Got my hydration, got the towel. Let's go. Okay, 2 hours. You can see average watt is 200. So bang on what I was aiming for. Okay guys, so job done, 2 hours done. I'm just continuing to spin the legs. For me, important not to stop straight away. Don't want any of that blood pooling. Obviously there's been a lot of blood directed to the legs, so just keep spinning them nice and light. Just let everything settle down. So what does this tell us? First of all, Stuart Fisher at Endurance Peak. You're a bit of a genius, my man. So he said to me, you'd be able to hold zone 2 at 200 watts for however long, you know. So today was 2 hours. I decided to give his advice / put the data into test, and lo and behold, 200 watts, 2 hours at the very top end of zone 2. So like I said at the beginning, sometimes when I do a zone 2 effort, I'm just concentrating on keeping it in that blue zone. Lose a bit of concentration, reply to an email, whatever, and it drops. This time I was focused solely on the watts. Had a little visit from my gorgeous girl. She came in, so kept me entertained for a long time.
which was good, but still focusing on those numbers. Now my very top end zone 2 heart rate is 137. And yes, it was creeping into 138, 139, occasionally 140, but never up from that. It was dropped back down when I was getting a drink, when I was moving around, when I was just even changing my position actually on the bike. I noticed there was a little slight more demand here and there, and that pushes heart rate up. But all in all, zone 2, 2 hours, 200 watts. Thank you, Stuart Fisher. And that is the new benchmark which I'll be working from. Sayonara.
Good morning. Today is Friday. Sleep has been a little bit off. Last night, absolutely. This week, really not clocking up too much good sleep at the moment. I'm totally aware, as you know, an aspiring athlete who wants to be performing at a high relative level, that sleep is an important factor. Something that I am trying to work on. You know, no excuses, but you know, being a business owner, kind of being almost responsible for a lot of people, lots of members here, always just racking the brain and thinking about ways to improve, thinking about ways we can improve our coaching, thinking about people's journeys and all the rest of it. So if there is a little period in the night where I wake up, then sometimes it's hard to get back to sleep. So anyway, so I've come in here early this morning into the gym. Yesterday's session was, as you just saw in the previous clip, that watt hold on the bike. So I've been increasing that by a couple of watts every single week. And yesterday I held 236 watts for 90 minutes. Now I do believe now I am getting to a level where the increase is really going to start to slow down. I think when I started at about 208 or 205 or something like that, and I increased slowly every week. And we're now up to 236. So we can just tell from the heart rate and the relative effort level that that is starting to get pretty tough. But I do feel strong on the bike, and it's improving, you know, just consistent and constant aerobic power output. To hold that amount of watts for that amount of time is pretty good. So yeah, that's going really well. This morning I'm just going to do a piece involving some farmer's carry and some lunges, in between some threshold work on the ergs. So I am going to be working, but yeah, just try and keep it specific with the strength patterns, with the farmer's carry and the lunges. So I'm going to go heavier on the lunges than HYROX weight. I'm going to go just HYROX weight for the farmer's carry. This morning's session for the guys in the gym, it is a pretty spicy Metcon. 7-minute blocks, 90 minutes rest. So we're really working hard for those 7 minutes. I want to really emphasize that point, because you do get a nice 90-second rest between the specific blocks. That's going to be good. Tomorrow we've got the HYROX simulation as we prep towards HYROX Cardiff. So we're running the simulation here at the gym, and I'm really excited about Cardiff. I haven't ran since Bangkok. I am going to test my knee out on Sunday morning. So I'm going to rest tomorrow. I'm going to test my knee out with a run on Sunday morning. That is just going to be a 30 to 45 minute, very, very light run. Just to see if I get any response from it. Hopefully there is no response and it feels good, and I can start running again. So that'll only give me like 10 days running work as I prep towards Cardiff. So that would have been, what, like 3 weeks off, 10 days running. So we'll see how that transfers into the race. I'm hoping that I haven't lost too much in terms of running ability or speed or pace. But yeah, we'll do that on the Sunday.
And then yeah, I'm really excited for another reason about Cardiff, because usually when I'm competing, obviously in the male pro solo, it's like me or one or two others. But this time, from ACE, we've got 8 competitors, 8 athletes, all in the male pro race. And Cardiff is actually, the male pro is starting at 10 a.m. So it's usually a night race. So it's great that it's going to be a morning race between 10 and half 12, I believe the window is. So we're going to have 8 athletes all competing in between that time frame, which is pretty exciting, which is pretty cool. So excited for that as well. So another day about to commence, and we'll catch you soon.
Right guys, it is sim day, Saturday sim day. It's an early one, it is 5 to 5 at the moment. We've got the first athletes going off at 7 a.m. We put all the ergs outside, we've got a big tent covering up, I'll show you in a bit. And then all the stations are here in the gym. We've got the sleds set, because we have male pro and female open going off first, so they're all set and ready. Everything else is ready and set up to go. Okay, personally, for myself, I haven't ran since HYROX Bangkok, which is a good few weeks ago now. I am going to do a test run now. So first of all, I'm going to go out for a little run, just probably to the 500 meter marker and back. So I'll do a K, really nice and light. Hopefully no response on the knee, because this is going to be the first run I've done since I've had that challenge, that knee challenge. If that feels okay, I'm going to run through the simulation myself this morning. It is a 7-station sim. We don't do the sled pull. We could do it. We could facilitate it, of course. However, that would mean setting athletes off individually, and it's always nice just to have one side by side, really. A little bit of competition, but just so you're not on your own as well. So we don't do the sled pull, so we do have 2 sled tracks available. So I'm going to do the same. I'm not going to do the sled pull. I'm going to do the full 7-station sim, but I am going to pace the runs, okay? So I haven't put really any intensity through the leg, through the knee at all. Obviously I haven't ran, so I haven't put any intensity through it. So I'm going to pace the runs at around 4 minutes per kilometre. So I'm going to set my watch to clock the GPS, so I know what pace I'm running at when I'm out on the run course. So I'm going to have a warm-up, little bit of stretching, dynamic stuff, mobility, and then I'm going to get ready to go. Because I'm hopefully going to feel comfortable at that 4-minute pace, it is going to give me an opportunity to really push through on the stations here. So that's my game plan, that's my strategy. So hopefully we're going to come through unscathed, because it is 2 weeks to Cardiff. Okay guys, so just closing out another week. This is after yesterday's simulation. So in terms of the gym sim which we put on, it was great. It was another really successful event. We had plenty of athletes going through the simulation, practicing that race pace, practicing the techniques and everything in preparation for HYROX Cardiff and Lisbon. So we've got athletes going out to Lisbon and also loads of us now going to Cardiff, which is great. Personally for myself, I did the 7-station sim in 55 minutes and 10 seconds, which was really good. That is minus the sled pull and obviously that additional run. I did though hold the run pace for between 4 minutes and 4 minutes 5 per kilometre, which I'm encouraged to say felt very, very comfortable. I didn't even touch that red zone, which for me, I'm usually in that the whole time in a HYROX event. So to not even creep into that at all is very, very encouraging. But what's even better is that I've come through the sim after managing this knee niggle unscathed. So I've had no response the next day, which is good. So I will continue, obviously, to do all the prehab work, all the strengthening, stretching, and all the rest of it. But it is very encouraging that niggle hasn't raised its head, during the simulation. So we've only got 2 weeks now before Cardiff. So I'm not going to go into the next couple of weeks thinking I'm back to where I was in terms of my running, but I am going to put my running back into my training. I've been doing loads on the bike, which has been going really, really well. So I'll continue to do that, but I am going to start the runs as of Tuesday, which is going to be 16 reps of 400 meters with a 1 minute break. So that will be just introducing that speed work, nothing crazy to begin with. I don't want to overdo it. I'm just going to get back into that running, which I'm really looking forward to. I've really missed the running, to be honest. So yeah, that's a positive. Also today is Sunday. We had loads of ACE representatives in Manchester for the Manchester Marathon, which was amazing to see. Most of them running it for the first time. I went down there to support. Only actually saw one of them on course, but it was an unbelievable atmosphere. Absolutely fab down there today. So that was great. We also had guys out in HYROX Malaga over the weekend. And they both did awesome as well. One double ran a 65 in the male pro, and one double ran a 64 in the male open. That was his debut race with his partner, and they managed to secure first place in their age group, which is amazing. So yeah, that is another week roundup as we move a couple of steps closer to HYROX Cardiff in just 2 weeks. But with the long-term, or not so long-term now, vision of the World Championships in Stockholm, which is probably around 8 weeks away now. So yeah, all focus on Stockholm. So thank you once again for joining me. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.